The highland barley on the plateau is ripe. Jacques harvested with the adults, humming nursery rhymes praising his father. His father died many years ago. The mother lives with her husband's brother. Moms are like other women. Jacques harvested with the adults. His father died many years ago. The Raya people are a plateau people in northern Bhutan. The average altitude here is more than 3,800 meters. It is the most remote village in the Himalayan kingdom. Women are discussing workers carrying telegraph poles. After a while, the lions might also have access to electricity. Maybe there will be a cement road in the village. With electricity, you can buy various household appliances, refrigerators, color TVs. Washing machines are no longer out of reach, and the biggest worry is whether I can afford the electricity bill. Yoko lay easily in the wheat field. Imagine what a TV is. Hello everyone. I am Madar. In this episode, let's go into the kingdom of Bhutan together, see how modern civilization entered primitive tribes. Farming and herding, the Raya people's way of life. Yak not only brought them beef and ghee, cowhide is also a raw material for making clothing and tents. The Raya people practice polyandry. Most husbands are brothers to each other. This system is mainly to pool family resources. A husband can help take care of livestock. Another husband can start a small business. As the saying goes, fat water should not flow to outsiders' fields. Family assets can also be better passed on to the next generation. Family assets can also be better passed on to the next generation. Because the family is poor, heavy housework, Jacques' mother wants to send him to the temple. After discussing with my current husband, he also agreed. Let's see how he convinces his son next. The night on the plateau is very quiet. There is someone outside, serving hot butter tea by the campfire. Mother and son gathered around the fire. Sitting mother presented his idea, but Jacques shook his head. See him silent. The mother then persuaded her with affection and reason. The family doesn't have enough money to send him to school. You can get free clothes and food by going to the temple. There is no need to take care of cattle and sheep at home. I don't know which reason moved Jacques. He finally agreed. The temple is built on the top of the mountain. Just a lama. Monks are very respected here. Want to entrust my son. Need to offer some incense money. Mother told Jacques over and over again to take off his clothes. Put on monk's robe. Put on monk's robe. You are the lama. Be obedient. Be a good boy. After the kneeling ceremonies completed, mother left the temple. Jacques, who had just arrived, was a little at a loss. I don't even know which leg to take. Get up early the next day and brush your teeth. Then I followed the two senior brothers, enchanting Buddhist scriptures. Listen to Master's teachings. Months ago, Master also has 8 disciples. Now add the new Jacques. There are only 3 left. They all went to the city. Said there was a TV there. Make people's lives more comfortable and comfortable. But the Master doesn't see it that way. He thinks the weird stuff on TV, it will impact the simple psychology of the people, have a great negative impact on thinking. However, the torrent of the times can no longer be stopped. Even outside the temple, many workers came here to carry telegraph poles, horseback dragging bundles of cables. This is what Jacques saw with his own eyes. There are many workers walking in the fields. The villagers also saw it with their own eyes. After Jack's mother came home, discuss with husband, hope he can sell a yak, then buy a big and good TV and come back. The women in the neighborhood also echoed. The next day, my husband drove the cavalry to the city. He sold 2 yaks. Cow purchased a lot of daily necessities. Of course, there is also the TV set that my wife misses so much. TV wrapped in blankets, but after taking it apart, but he said it was difficult to maintain balance. Using Roman transport, the TV fell to the ground on the way. It's probably no longer available. Wife, listen. The expression immediately turned from sunny to cloudy, complaining about your husband's failure to accomplish anything. More than failing him, the price of a yak is not a small amount of money. Even if the electricity is turned on, they can't watch TV at home either. The husband bowed his head and said nothing, but I promised to find a way to buy a better one. Jacques did not know this. For many days, he's used to temple life, cleaning the instruments every day. chanting sutras and chanting Buddha. I also learned to play the brass horn with my senior brother. Copper angle is also called copper gold, used in the military in ancient times. The beginning of history, Guj Kingdom in Engari region, Tibet. Apply this instrument to the court orchestra. Since then, it has been popular in Tibetan areas for more than 1,100 years. Many musical instruments are used in religious ceremonies. The dance of the shaman is wild and mysterious. Jack's eyes widened. After 2 months in the temple, Jock still feels like he's in the cow camp, and his heart is in the Han dynasty. This can be seen from the whispers between him and his senior brother before going to bed. They all long to marry a beautiful woman as their wife. It's also because of my senior brother's meticulous care. Only then can Accord stay here with peace of mind. However, life in the temple is too boring. It is a child's nature to love to play. The time without my senior brother, Jacques could only run around on the roof boredly. Maybe he wants to turn into a wisp of wind, flying over majestic snow-capped mountains. Go and see the outside world. There is a school at the foot of the mountain. Jacob was very envious of the children there. He also wants to study, but my mother said that the family had no money. But it's nice to be able to take a look outside the school, especially after school. You can still find children. Friends play together. Archery games are not allowed in temples. That's why he sneaked out. I even ran home today. No matter how my mother persuades me, don't want to go back. Jacques said the Lama there would beat him. If you have to send him to become a monk, just change another temple. Son throws himself into mother's arms and acts like a baby. But his mother still didn't get used to him, because he knows that if he cannot endure hardship, he will not be able to achieve positive results. Winter comes very early here. It's just October and it's snowing all over the sky. The newly bought TV at home has become a decoration. Uncle has always felt guilty. I haven't forgotten my original promise. Jacques returned home with the consent of his mother and master. It just so happens that my uncle is going to the capital for a stop. Want to take him with me? Jacques is of course 10,000 willing. Unexpectedly, my mother readily agreed, and he also helped Jacques take a bath before setting off. The mother gave birth to 4 sons and 2 daughters in total. Among them, the eldest daughter is the most promising. It is said that he works in an office in the capital. Mother hopes that Jacques can meet his sister this time. Jacques was in a happy mood along the way. Sing loudly. The uncle led the yak and walked ahead. I will also pray devoutly when I pass by the Nema stone pile. Walking on the vast plateau for several hours, when they were tired, the uncle and nephew sat on the top of the hill to rest for a while. It wasn't until the afternoon that we arrived at the cattle dealer's house. Uncle wants 15,000 luzim, approximately RMB 1,300. Uncle wants 15,000 luzim, approximately RMB 1,300. Sure, no problem. It's just a bit expensive. Uncle said nothing. Cut yourself off. The cattle dealer handed the money to his uncle and invite them to stay here for 1 night. It's a long way to stop here. It would take at least 3 days just by walking, and Jacques was already too tired to walk. Don't even bother to say anything. The next day, the uncle and nephew set off on the road lightly, and I was lucky enough to get a ride. Jacques was so happy. This is his first time riding in a car. Just like flying. Just like flying. It's a pity that it didn't take long. The little guy can't stand it anymore. Cars bring convenience, but can also make you motion sick. Jake may have never thought about it. Every new thing has pros and cons. Fortunately, they arrived at Tingbu the next day. Just like Grandma Liu entering the Grandview Garden. It's a full car, a new world of shops and various pedestrians. Jacques has been dazzled. Even the mannequins outside the clothing store. It's enough for him to study for half a day. He also bought some lollipops. I didn't expect this food to be so sweet. Traffic policeman on duty standing in the middle of the road. Very strange to Jacques, because his hands are always moving back and forth. Uncle said he was directing traffic. Jacques doesn't know what traffic is. He was even curious about the homeless man's crutches. You have to ask how to use it to be satisfied. In the evening, the uncle and nephew settled in a small hotel. Jacques tasted instant noodles for the first time in his life. That was the most delicious snack he had ever eaten. In the evening, his uncle took him to the night market. This is also the first time in his life that he has watched TV. WWE wrestling match. He was stunned. That glass box. There are a lot of muscular people inside. They beat each other viciously. Is it true? The uncle replied that I was not sure either. If it's true, that man had been beaten to death long ago. This trip to the capital. The most important task is to buy a TV. I paid and took the TV back to the hotel. Uncle is relieved now. The most important task of Jack's trip is to find his elder sister. He came to the place where his mother said he worked, but the front desk said he didn't know this person. In desperation, I had to call my mother, ask him for his sister's contact information. Mode. After many twists and turns, Jacques finally found his sister. It's just where he works. It's different from what I imagined. It's a feasting place, neon flashing. My sister is dancing and singing on the stage, and Jack's gaze. Soon I was attracted by the colorful goldfish. This trip was not in vain. Not only enjoyed the taste, still a feast for the eyes, and I also met a strange elder sister. My elder sister has worked hard here for many years. Job instability. Income is also very limited. She hasn't been back to her hometown for a long time, so Jacques is not familiar with her. Even chatting is all about one thing or another. I don't know what I want to express, but there is one thing that is very important to elder sister. She told Jacques a lot. Being a dancer in an entertainment club. Never tell your mother. Jacques asked him he would come home again. The concubine nodded slightly. No more talking. Jacques returned home successfully a few days later. He's lying in his mother's arms, telling what he saw and heard. That excitement has not dissipated even now. When mother asks about sister, Jacques complies with his sister's wishes, told a white lie. Maybe in the near future. Jacques harvested with the adults, humming nursery rhymes praising his father. The mother lives with her husband's brother. After a while, see how modern civilization entered primitive tribes. This system is mainly to pool family resources. Heavy housework. You can get free clothes and food by going to the temple. There is no need to take care of cattle and sheep at home. Just a llama. Then I followed the two senior brothers, enchanting Buddhist scriptures. Listen to master's teachings. Now add the new Jacques. There are only 3 left. Said there was a TV there. Make people's lives more comfortable and comfortable. He thinks the weird stuff on TV. It will impact the simple psychology of the people. The women in the neighborhood also echoed. Of course, there is also the TV set that my wife misses so much, but he said it was difficult to maintain balance. Using Roman transport, the TV fell to the ground on the way. Wife, listen. Many musical instruments are used in religious ceremonies, but it's nice to be able to take a look outside the school. I even ran home today, because he knows that if he cannot endure hardship, he will not be able to achieve positive results. The newly bought TV at home has become a decoration. That was the most delicious snack he had ever eaten. This is also the first time in his life that he has watched TV. There are a lot of muscular people inside. Soon I was attracted by the colorful goldfish, so Jacques is not familiar with her. Even chatting is all about one thing or another. Before leaving, the master handed them the key to the door and told them to offer holy water. Always light a butter lamp. Allow television and the internet to enter the country. Television and internet information are good and bad for the country. Elbow strike, kick, tension pressure, rotating foot brake. The villagers were so shocked that their eyes widened. Maybe from that moment on, it's hard to say whether this change is a good thing or a bad thing. This world, old and new things are always changing. The evolution of civilization is also non-present. Maybe it's a spiral reincarnation